while I am still in the Commonwealth, I decided to take a stop at Devious Radio, Victoria Streets. Lovely weather in beautiful DA. What a lovely island. Let me see if Nigel Francis is around. Nigel, bonjour.
Hey, bonjour. How you doing?
Well, I'm there, Nigel. Look, I forget the console, Nigel.
I know, and you're in darkness today, man. I'm not seeing you today.
What
happened? You decided for me not to see you today?
No, that's not true. I don't know what is happening. I'm not getting...
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you, which is good.
Okay, I'm not getting the juice in the headphones, man. But I'll see what happens. Nigel, how you doing, Nigel?
Happens. I know. Vacation mode, but, it's almost like a work vacation for you now.
Yes, Nigel, yes. On a Saturday.
That's a vacation.
Yeah, but let's see what happens. Well, I'm still at home. I'm still vacationing, as I said. The staycation is on. So I'll see what happens next week.
Right.
So it should be different vibes next week.
We'll connect somehow.
Yeah, well, of course we will connect, Nigel.
We'll connect in the air, out there, somewhere.
Mm-hmm. On the chair.
We'll find a way.
Whatever. Nigel, beautiful weather in Dominica. It's hotter, but it's really nice. The atmosphere, the ambience is really, something to excite you and enjoy. So it's a nice vibes.
Well, it is hot where I am too. Very, very, very hot. But it's all good.
Yeah, man. Yes. But yeah,
I probably don't have the nice cool breeze blowing like you have, but it's okay. It's okay.
All right. So how you doing, Nigel? What is the week,
I am good. It's been a very tough, like when you have some of those weeks where you're like, okay, that's it. Week is done. Can't wait for the weekend kind of a thing. And but so it's one of those weeks, but then when I remember Saturday is around the corner, I say, you know what, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay. Yes, Nigel. So yes, we have a guest today. She's here in all her glory. We will link up with her soon, Nigel, as you keep on talking a little.
Yes, definitely. But I mean, apart from the week being tough, things went well still. Everything went well. Was able to still connect with DBS as I always do during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I keep in touch with what's happening.
Yeah, man. Nigel, when are you releasing the Kadas track that you sent me yesterday?
Well, I was hoping we could do it maybe later on, so hopefully it can come through, So
I really suspect you wanted Wadix to put you on the line up here. You just
he should have. That's the only thing that was missing.
Yeah.
Hey, Wadix. Bonjour, frère. That's the only thing that was missing, was to have me on the lineup.
Yeah, you miss it by the woman, Nigel. But next time. It's not so bad, Nice track. But Nigel, I'm not sure. I haven't heard the reviews about night one of the Kadas Calypso Festival. I know night two is on this evening, and more commendation, of course, to Creole Heartbeats and Radix for this wonderful initiative. I mean, Nigel, to sustain Kadas music at a time when the party goers are opting for bouillon, for soca, the Afrobeats. It's really a remarkable feat. So we have to
It is, and we have to definitely keep saying, thanks to Radix for keeping that part of our culture alive, that part of our music alive, and keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, from the days of Wadi Kole, he and Wooly and Wadix have kept it going for the last 30 plus years. And now Kadas music celebrating 50 years, finding its space on the World Creole Music Festival, and this weekend is a big one in the Kadas Calypso Gospel Festival. Haven't heard much about night one yet, but if you were not that night one, please find yourself there night two, and of course there's night three coming up as well.
I suspect
so looking forward to that.
I suspect Curtis Matthew was a night one, because when I came to DBS a short while ago, he was not around, so probably he went to take a sleep or something like that. But
which is very unusual. Youngster, good morning. Youngster, were you at the show? I hope you were. There's night two and night three.
He went to sleep.
You and Mrs. Matthew will be on.
Mm-hmm.
So, try and find your way there.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So the infectious dance beats will continue. It lives on from since 50 years ago, Nigel? due largely
Yes,
in part to the
yes.
artists like Chubby and the Midnight Groovers, Gordon Henderson, Ophelia, Wafrika, Mantra, Naked Feet, Nigel help me, B Blood, a lot of them,
I mean, so many,
Jonetta
I mean,
Zeus,
Bells Combo,
yeah, oh yes, oh
and all the
yes,
other little bands that came through, some bands that didn't stay too long, but they came through, Wooden Stones and some of the other band. And there was this band with Papa Ignition. Is it Ignitions?
I think it's Ignition
I think
Band.
it was Ignitions,
Okay,
yeah. Papa and Refuse and those guys there too.
yeah,
So a lot of bands have come through, a lot of artists have come through, I mean, Super L
oh
and
yes,
all the
yes,
others, Jali and, all those who've contributed to the Kadas music.
yeah,
Um,
man, and
it's been,
I have to give DBS Radio a plug as well, Nigel, because we
but you
continue
have
to
to, you
ensure
have
that
to, you
Kadas
have
music
to.
has its place on the airwaves, and we have been doing that for many, many years. So
Yes, I
we
mean,
seem to,
DBS is one of the if you want, the foundation pillars that have kept Kadas going. So we
oh
cannot leave out
yes,
DBS.
oh
Definitely so,
yes, what
you
Wavo
know.
with DBS, Nigel.
Oh, yes.
Nigel, by the
What do I have
way,
about DBS? Yes, sir.
on another note, the
Mm.
breakfast fet outfits that you sent me is a whole vibe with Nigel. Nigel, you forgot that the spring chicken again, man. What is that for? Where?
When I was saying it, I wonder if it's too short or if it's too long.
Nigel, next time let Ellis do the shopping. I mean, I like short, but you did not get the. I don't know.
I
You
didn't get
failed
the
this
correct
assignment.
instructions.
I mean, the royal blue top was too busy. It has too much going on, So I put my left hand where my right hand should be, so you can understand. I'm back to front. No, the bicycle pants not feeling comfortable. It's more like
You're not feeling comfortable.
No, it's like a cross
No.
between a bicycle pants and a pedal pusher.
I'll have to translate another one.
What?
I'll have to translate another one.
But I still put in it. I'm going to use it
But of
later.
course you should put it still. Of course you should put it still. Yes.
But
yes.
as soon as you see like they break, I run it somewhere.
You're running away.
Eh.
Yes, the breakfast fit is another big one coming up.
Oh yes.
So I hope it's going to be a big one as well if Iceland Company. So yes, all the nice outfits will be out and all the breakfast lovers will be out.
Oh yes.
Celebrating.
Outfits for so.
Yes. Oh, before I forget, let me say happy birthday to my daughter before she kills me.
Oh wow.
Happy birthday, my dear. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Alicia. I hope you have a wonderful day and look forward to lots of stuff and lots of celebration with you the best way we can. Happy birthday.
Wow, I love this. Let me also say advance birthday greetings to my daughter. She'll be celebrating in the week. So the week starts tomorrow, right? So she'll be celebrating.
The week starts tomorrow. Yes. And of course, Ailey's Zone is on Thursday as well. So and so that's like close celebrations for the whole family. And of course, Jaden's birthday was on Tuesday. So happy birthday to all the August Leo peoples.
Yeah. Nigel, quickly tell Virginia Matthew I said hello and plenty love as well.
Well, I definitely will do that, and I'm pretty sure she's listening as well. So she's probably upstairs listening. So good morning to you. I want to say happy birthday to you. I want to say send all the love and greetings to you. Yes. And I almost say happy birthday to you.
Yeah, man. So we have good discussion coming up here, but just let me tell you quickly. We have to make mention of the good work of La Cour des Arts, Gloria Augustus, and that collab they did with the Alwyn Bully Foundation. It's bringing the Caribbean Murder Mystery back to life. That Caribbean Murder Mystery written by Alwyn Bully, Nigel, the Night Box. So that is coming back to life.
Yes. Wonderful. And Gloria, good morning to you, and continue doing the great work you and Curtis and Sonia and Tessa and everybody else who was part of the movement. Continue that movement, continue theater. Continue to do it for Alwyn and all those who've been part of theater. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And before I forget again, it's Alvin birthday's Monday too. Alvin Thomas, good morning to you.
Holiday.
So your birthday's on Monday because I'm me ki celebrate birthday. Come on, you got the birthday, Creole say birthday.
Birthday, I don't like that.
Birthday.
As if I can't take it in, not the birthday. but I think it's birthday.
Birthday. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's birthday. So we wish you all the best. Um,
So good morning to you too. Yes, yes,
mhm.
yes, and happy birthday. So how you say happy birthday in Creole?
um, I shall
Okay.
Pemberton.
All right. So help us there. How do you say happy birthday in Creole? Help us out. Those on the book. Help us out.
Give us a help there.
Yes, happy birthday in Creole. Help us out
Happy
there, so I can tell
birthday.
Alvin Thomas happy birthday.
Bon
Okay.
anniversaire, like bon anniversaire, something like
Bon
that.
anniversary. Bon anniversary. Say happy anniversary.
Okay, all right. Mind me, Nigel. Let's bring on our guest then.
We have our guest. Yes.
So but the book is so Alvin is on. Working is on Nigel.
Yes. So Alvin is on. I think. Let me see. Let me see. Muriel Scott must be on. Carl Kofi James have been lapsing of late. So he's been joining late, but he's not on yet. Noreen Joseph, good morning to you. How you say happy birthday in Creole? Noreen Joseph says, well, I'll be looking for you before the break. She come in and look for you, Ivona. She says she have an outfit just like yours.
Okay, you must see me because that kind of outfit I have there.
Nico Valmore, good morning to you. Sarah Michelle, good morning to you. Wants to say congratulations. She says she has great news for you, Alvin. I don't know what that is. Sonia Williams, good morning to you. Sorry to have you in stitches early in the morning. But enjoy. Juliet Dover, good morning to you too. And Noreen says, bon anniversary.
Also, I was correct. You see, Nigel, I know my stuff.
I know
my
correct.
Stuff.
Of course, you was correct. You know, you know your Creole.
Bon anniversary.
Bon anniversary. Okay, all right. So that's where we got our correction from. But yes, so good morning to all those who are locked in as always. Connecting the dots. It's a pleasure to have you. And we will have our guests in a little bit from now, right?
Oh yeah, she's there. Very lovely lady. So Nigel, we're gonna start.
Wonderful.
Right? We're gonna bring her on.
Yes, you get the opportunity to meet her and chat with her before me, so that's good.
So she has not received the house rules, but she'll go with the flow. She's smiling away, so she may be saying, "Boy, these people there can talk nonsense."
She don't know we coming for her.
Boy, I know. But Nigel, so I was reading an article with much interest this week, and this article penned by a young Dominican really brings to light the issue of aesthetic in Roseau, and then boom, I realized the name Kateri Pemberton was the same name, Nigel, that you sent me for our guest this week. So I have to say, congratulations to you, Nigel, for doing once again a fine job. You always have the right guests for connecting the dots, and I'm really pleased for this. So Nigel, let me give you the honor to welcome our guest this morning.
Well, I'll take the honor if you want to pass it on to me. But yes, good morning to you. She have to always tell me the correct pronunciation.
Well, I don't know if I
good morning to you,
right.
Kateri. I think they call her Terry as well.
Yes,
so good
Terry.
morning,
I'll stick with Terry.
Yes, I sticking to Terry too. But good morning, my dear. It's a pleasure to have you in Connecting the Dots. I can't see you yet, but I shall see you in a few. Before our guest tellers, we cannot see them. But good morning. It's nice to have you on Connecting the Dots. And we're going to have a wonderful hour plus. We're going to chit chat. We're going to find out a little bit about you. We're going to find out about the work you're doing and some of the things you're interested in. So thank you so much for accepting the invite. I know your voice is better because you drank enough bush tea for that. So good morning. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Thank you. And thank you for having me. I hope you're hearing me fine. Yes?
Well, we're hearing you a little low, and then we're still not seeing you. So Mr. Technician, fix us up. We can't see her. I don't want anybody to tell me we can't see her. So Joseph Carbon, good morning too. Saying happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to General. It can't be happy birthday. So the Creole writers need to create a new word for happy birthday. Okay. Task for the Creole writers there. Whilst we try to get our guests so that everybody can see her and hear her well. But yes, it's a pleasure to have you. And how's your day going so far, my dear?
So far, it's been a good day. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to engage and talk and be on the program. So thank you for having me. Good morning.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you. Let me freeze me to have to switch my camera because they tell me she on, but no, she not on. I can't see her. It can't be me. Let me try something there. No, it's not that either. You can mess up the whole thing there now. We're in trouble. Okay. All right. But I can't see it yet. All right. So as we always do in connecting the dots, we always try to find out a little bit about our guests. First of all, correct pronunciation of your name, my dear.
Say that again.
Is it
We're
Kateria?
having some issues, but let's see.
Oh, okay. We'll have it sorted out. So yeah, I was just asking, like, in terms of the pronunciation of your name, how do you pronounce that? Okay, so still having a little bit of issues. We'll get it sorted out in a few. Meantime, let me go on the book and see who's saying hello. Crispin Shillingford says good morning, blessing guys, positive Dominica. Mariana Melvington says morning everyone, pleasant Saturday. Paula Emmanuel, greetings. Who else? Who else is on there? Creole Queen Free. Good morning to you. She's not being seen. I've been saying not seeing her either. But look trouble for us this morning there. Benjamin, good morning as well. We trying so you can see her. It come in. I'm working on that. So just give us a little few. We will connect with her visually. Can you hear me still now, Kateria? Can you hear me? Okay, you're trying to sort out for her to hear me as well. So we'll get everything connected and sorted out in a few, because she has a very interesting story to tell and she has some interesting views to share on some of the things that she sees, especially as it relates to aesthetics and buildings and pathways and all the rest of it. So I want to make sure you can hear her and see her.
Yeah, so I suspect I'll have to work some magic and do something else. Let me see if I can hear her better now. No, something is just definitely wrong, Nigel. Like I forgot the console or something, but no, something is wrong. So let's see if we can make this work, or she'll have to come, right across. Let me see.
Let's see.
Right next to me. She may have to come right next to me. We'll see if we can make it work. But Nigel, I know you can talk a lot, so keep talking. Let me see what I can work out.
Well, I talking for the whole day. And if I need help, I call in some of my Facebook friends to help me.
All right. Okay.
So they can help me talk, but otherwise I can talk for the whole day. Yes. Alvin, what you're saying there this week, Nigel, was also the observation. Oh, that is true. Yes. Emancipation Day. Yes. Oh, here she comes. Yes, here she comes. I almost put another line after that song, but I cannot say that to her. You know that song I go, here she comes? And then there's another line.
Watch
you can't say that.
She'll chew you up, something like that.
But why are you saying that?
Oh, sorry.
I just tell you.
You can't manage then.
Oui. So, Emancipation Day, yes, was August 1st. And of course, we continue to celebrate and we continue to emancipate as we celebrate. So, I can see you now. Can you hear me now as well?
I can hear you.
All right, wonderful. So we're good to go now. We're connecting properly now. So I was asking you earlier in terms of the pronunciation of your name, correct pronunciation. Is it Kateria? Or am I saying it wrong? Okay, I say again.
Hearing?
Oh, I can hear you. Yes. Okay, I lose her again. All right. So every time we press something losing. We'll make it work. We can see her now, but we can't hear her now, so that's okay. But we'll figure it out in a few. So we're talking about emancipation. Yes, Emancipation Day, August 1st. And of course, we had celebrations throughout the Caribbean region. There's Carnival in Antigua going on still. Had a great Calypso Monarch show last night. There's Crop over in Barbados. And, all the other Caribbean countries. Of course, St. Vincent had mixed it up with the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. So that was a great celebration. Not sure if we had anything specific in Dominica, but I'm sure Dr. Damien Dubs will let me know if there was anything specific to honor and celebrate and emancipate. Of course, Jamaica's independence falls around the same time this weekend as well. So all around the Caribbean, we're having celebrations for Emancipation Day. And that's a wonderful thing. Next week, we're going to be having a great program on Connecting the Dots. We'll be linking up with a few people that's involved in PAN. We'll tell you more about that. So that's going to be beautiful to connect. Let's see if we can hear her again. Terry, you can hear me now, and let me see if I can hear you.
No, Nigel,
Okay,
something is
so
just not working for us here this morning. So I'm
yes,
gonna work on something. I'm gonna work on
so
something.
we can see her now, and then
We
we
can see
can hear
her,
her.
but
And
something is
then
wrong in the
before we
mic.
were hearing and we can see.
Yeah.
So we will sort it out. We will connect. We will connect. She's probably going to tell us why it's important to have aesthetics to connect to. But we will connect. We will connect. That's okay. That's okay. And of course, I mean, we have, as we were talking about all the celebrations throughout the Caribbean region, don't forget to view Miss Dominica be taking part in the Culturama in Nevis on Monday. I think the show is on Monday night. So you want to make sure you support Miss Dominica. She'll be taking part in another pageant on Monday. She took part in the Miss JC's Queen Show, came first runner up. So congratulations, Miss Alicia Burton, for participating, and of course Leandra for hosting the show. Great host you were. Continue doing what you're doing. You and your company, Lovely Things, had some great presentations. So congratulations, like to uplift our people. And what other celebrations are going on? As you said, there's crop over in Barbados. Of course, there's cricket in Trinidad. Congratulations to the West Indies. They do something. They actually
Yes, that's true.
they actually won the first T20. Exciting match it was. So I think the next one is on Sunday out in Guyana. So West Indies will be taking on them in Guyana for the second T20. So of course our Ali Kafin is not in the T20 team, but we still wish the West Indies all the best on their second match on Sunday in Guyana. And then, of course, they come out to Florida for the next couple of T20s as well. There's the Commonwealth Youth Games going on in Trinidad. Great opening ceremony last night. Of course, Dominica has a contingent there. So we want to wish all our athletes who are in Trinidad, we want to wish them the best as they take part in the Commonwealth Youth Games. I think it's the 7th Commonwealth Youth Games taking place in Trinidad and Tobago this weekend and for the next week or so. So wishing our athletes all the best. Keep talking. What's up, Ali? What's up? Okay, I continue talking. So whilst we try to fix up our dear guest. So of course, last night was the first night of the Kadas Music Festival. So congratulations to Creole Heartbeats and Wadix for keeping the Kadas music and Kadas Lipso culture alive. Tonight is the second night, and of course third night is on Sunday. You have the Kadas Lipso Festival going on. You have performances from all our top bands. Swinging Stars was great last night, and of course we had Jerry Lloyd, and then we're going to have Signal Band, Gordon Henderson, and all the other artists are going to be on. So look forward to that. Okay, look forward to that. Fixing the light as well. We're ready to go early for now. Let's try again. No?
I doubt, Nigel. I realize the problem, so I'm trying to get some help from the technician because
okay. Okay. So in other words, I will continue talking. Now, Timothy, good morning to all the beautiful people in my beautiful country, the Dominica land of beauty. You all are blessed. Thank you. Yes, Alvin, you remind me about the JC's Queen. Wonderful. Yes. Who else is saying? Lorna, good morning to you. Shows Joes, good morning to you. Yes, I know my light keep going on and off, but don't worry. You will steer out, sorry, my dear. Something like that. August Monday picnic. Hold on, I'll charge all you for all of all that's sending all them things to me now in terms of publicity. DBS will send a bill. But anyway, August Monday picnic at Cabana Beach in the Wesley area. Crispin wants to remind you of that. I'm going to say hi to Bernice for me. Lily Charles, okay. We'll say hi to Bernice.
Nigel, Makaswe.
Ukaswe?
Nah, man.
Uni still have Ukaswe.
Yes.
Chalet. Yes.
Chalet.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so we try something else.
Back and forth.
We try something
But you
else.
try and get it sorted out. I know you'll fix it up. Don't worry. In the meantime, I'll talk for you.
So let's bring her on, Nigel. Let's bring her on.
Let's bring her on. Okay.
Yeah, right. She has so much to say.
If we cannot see her, and we'll still talk to her. So yes, let's bring her on. I think we've seen her already. We're seeing the flyer now instead of you and her, but that's okay. So, Kateri, are you here with us now?
I believe so. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
That's wonderful. I was asking you very early in terms of the pronunciation of your name, so I don't get it wrong.
Right, right. I was saying that everyone actually got it correct the
Yeah,
first time.
Nigel.
It's Kateri, yes, Kateri.
Okay, you heard that, Nigel?
Yes, Kateri.
You heard that, right?
What, Kateri?
Yeah. So I was. Let her say it again. She said I was correct. Did you hear when she said I was correct? Did you hear that, Nigel?
I heard the other part, but now I hear that part too.
Okay. All right. So I was correct.
Yes, you were correct. Yes. So and then I also know that I understood they also call you Terry as well, right?
Yes, for that's usually what I tell people who don't really get it. You can just call me Terry for short.
Uh, all right. So we'll go we will bounce it back and forth, you know.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
so let's begin our discussion. Let's begin our chit chat. Of course, all the folks in Canada and Caribbean, please don't remind me because I should have been up there. Alvin, you should have been there too, but it happens. So tell us a little bit about you in terms of what part of Dominica you're from, and then we'll get to the schools and so on. What part of Dominica are you from?
Okay, so that question I usually don't really know how well to answer it. As a young child, I spent a lot of time in Tetmon and moving between Tetmon and Soufriere because my mother is from Tetmon, my father is from Soufriere. And then we moved to Canefield East, which is where I permanently reside. Yes, that's my permanent home. So I guess I could say I'm from Canefield, and yeah, I
Your
have
father is from Tetmon.
my
Your
father is
mother is from Tetmon. Your
right,
father is from
right.
Soufriere.
That's right.
Okay.
So I spent some time in all the places until we moved to Canefield East. So yeah.
So, good morning, welcome. How you? Sir, we have another guest, man. So yes, it's a combination of Tetmon, Soufriere, and Canefield. So was it like the earlier part of your
Yes.
life you were in
Yes. Yes.
Tetmon and
Yes.
Soufriere? Yeah.
In the
Okay. Do
earlier
you,
parts of my life, like my primary school years, and then we moved to Canefield, which is basically my pre-adolescent, adolescent years, and
do you recall what was it like primary school time in Tetmon, Soufriere area? What was it like then?
okay, so actually, from I went to Tetmon Primary up till about grade 2 before transferring to Convent Prep. I remember Tetmon Primary. I enjoyed Tetmon Primary. I only have positive memories there. Convent Prep again. I enjoyed my time as a child growing up. I mean, of course, you have your experiences at school, but it's all school and it's all a growing experience. So again, positive experiences at Convent Prep. I went to Convent High, and again, positive experiences, negative experiences, but it's all makes me who I am, and I appreciate all of it.
So you had a mixture of both. You said positive and negative.
Yeah, I mean, we all have experiences.
And that helped you grow, of course.
And that helps us grow, yeah.
Interesting, Nigel.
It is, and we'll find out about the I guess the balance, the positive and the negatives, and
And
what made
when
it
I
what
say
it is
negatives, I
today.
don't necessarily mean of the school. I mean, experiences making friends and, I
Yeah,
don't mean the
right,
school
right.
itself negatively. I mean, just the experience of making friends and, you make friends, you lose friends, that type of thing. That's
You
what
were
I'm trying to say.
quiet? You were a
Right.
shy girl? Or?
Yeah, I was pretty quiet. I was
Ah.
extremely quiet as a child.
So you was not one that someone would see in a big crowd?
No, not at all. The outspoken, it's only recently I've started to become a bit more outspoken. I guess becoming more comfortable in yourself and more comfortable with your opinions and what it is you have to say. So yeah, I was very quiet as a child.
Interesting, Nigel.
Very interested. And to those who say you cannot see her and you can't see Ivona, we're working on it, but we're connecting still. All right, we're working so you can see both Ivona and our guest, Kateri. So, Convent Prep. I want to go back to Convent Prep in a little bit before we run into our, discussion. Um, Positives and negatives. But did you have like any kind of favorite subjects in Convent Prep or favorite memories?
Primary school, even through high school, my favorite classes were always English and literature. I enjoyed English and literature a whole lot. Math was never my strongest subject, but I used to enjoy it. I enjoyed the challenge of it, even if I wasn't particularly the best student. Yeah, those would have to be my favorite. I also enjoyed history and biology. You know, in high school, you're doing biology, you participating in labs, you're doing experiments. All that is
Right.
always very fun. So yeah.
Were you involved in sports at all, or was it just the books?
Actually, that's one of the regrets I have. I wish I was a lot more involved in sports and extracurricular activities. I guess because of how shy I was and such, I didn't really push myself to get involved in them. I wish I did. Right now, I would have skills. I'd be playing instruments and be involved in sports and things.
Well, it's never, like you say, it's never too late, right? It's
Yeah,
never
it's
too
never
late
too late. It's never
to,
too
to,
late.
to learn something different. What about, I mean, friends? Did they carry you through from prep to high school to all now? Have you kept them going?
Um, from primary school, there are some people who I do have and consider friends. You know, I have the contact. We keep in touch from primary school, from high school as well. Um, I guess I've always been a type of person where I have different friend groups. So it's never just one singular group of people that I'm always with. I mean, there are some people who I would hang around with more often than not, but I always have different groups of people. So some of those people you carry on throughout the rest of your life and you keep in touch at all times. Others you maybe lose touch, not necessarily because you all fall out. I don't think I've ever had a falling out with any of my friends that I ever recall. It's just a change in interest, a change in directions in life. So, you know, you end up losing touch. But I don't really have anybody that I fall out with per se.
Interesting. Tell us some of the things that you enjoy doing as a young girl outside of school, obviously in the community around summertime. What can you remember?
Um, like I said, I was so shy, and I wasn't really participating in
So
too
you were
many
not going to the
things.
river
Yeah,
and
yeah, I would go out, to the river with my friends, go to the beach with my friends and family, such. I guess one thing I was involved in the Dominica Cadet Corps from about 2014, 2015 up to about 2018 thereabout. So a lot of my time was spent in the Corps. I enjoyed my time there. It was very beneficial to my growth in terms of discipline and learning. So that was involved.
Nigel, we're having more issues, so keep talking about.
Well, I can see her now. I can see you now. Just that I'm seeing her head, so they need to just adjust the camera a little bit, bring it down, so we can see more of her and not the top. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We just have to adjust the little camera, and we'll be good after that. Kinfield East, Terry, growing up in Kinfield East, what was it like there? Lots of fun too.
For me personally in Kentville East, I have friends in the neighborhood, of course. Definitely, I know people in my age group in the neighborhood that I know and I liaise with, and we talk to. My neighbors, as far as I know, they're all pretty friendly. I guess being a more suburban neighborhood, people are not necessarily out on the road with children playing on the road and stuff like you'd probably find in a Grand Bay. You see your children outside playing, but everybody for the most part is pretty friendly. Everybody's nice. I don't think I have any neighbors that I have never seen my parents or possibly needed help and they go and ask and the person say no. Like, yeah, it's all been pretty good as far as I know. Like I said, I was just so quiet and so reserved, and I didn't really engage too much in the neighborhood. I guess that is part of what's fueling me right now to really try to engage and impact and have an impact on my country, on the neighborhood and everything. So yeah.
And your voice is being heard now. You're making, a strong statement. So we want to get to that, right, Nigel? But
Oh
before we
yes,
get
oh
to that,
yes,
I'm sure
yes,
there are
yes.
other things that we want to know before we reach that part of your journey.
Yes, yes, definitely so. I mean, and I know everyone else ask about, summertime and so were you like going down? What did you used to go to like Donkey Beach? You know what I mean? Or did you like just? By the way, you know what Donkey Beach now?
Yeah, I know, Nigel. I don't. Do you?
Donkey Beach, that is by Claire Harbor, right?
Nigel, she not
Right.
bad.
That's
She
what they
not
used to.
bad.
That's what they used to call there before. You
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where everybody would flock to. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. I used to go there, man. Yeah, I used to
Used
go
to go there as well. All
there.
right. All right. All right.
And
And
take a lime.
yes, go there and have some fun. So convent now, convent. So you move from convent prep, convent high school. Do you recall some of the teachers there who might have had some kind of influence?
Okay, so he's asking you about convent prep and if you remember some of the teachers would might have had some influence on you. That's it, Nigel? We're trying to
Yes.
see the check and be adjusted as we
Oh, okay,
speak.
okay,
We're
okay,
trying to
okay,
work on
okay.
magic there, but okay, so I
You're
think it should
doing
be.
well. You're doing well.
All
You're
right,
doing well.
so yeah. Okay.
Yeah, convent prep. Because I was a very soft-spoken student. Not many people probably know this, but there are some teachers who actually did have a bit of an impact on me. I remember Miss Leandra Lander. Though I mean, we never really had a personal relationship, but I was always impressed with how she gets involved in things and she's always doing something creative. I really like creative activities, crafts, and that kind of thing. And that's something that she's very into. So it was always very intriguing to me. So that has always been something at the back of my mind. There's another teacher as well. I remember Miss Nation, who I don't know why, but for some reason I just had a very strong liking towards her. I like the way that she spoke. I like the way that she engaged the class. She was my which teacher was she? I can't even remember what subject she taught. But yeah, I just really liked her. I remember Miss Jeffrey, and I cannot call everybody's name, Miss
Right,
Alexander.
right, right.
But yeah, all these teachers have always had a very positive influence on me. I've always looked up to them positively, yeah, and I
What,
always remember them.
what about sports? Were you involved in sports?
No, like I said,
What
I
house?
wish
What house
I
were
was
you
in
in?
St. Anne.
I may have missed when you spoke about sports because I was kind of
Oh, I was
distracted
in
this time.
St. Anne. But if you're talking about like sports day, yeah, I would participate in dodgeball and that kind of thing. In terms of like
You
things
chose an
like
easy sport.
yeah, it was easy, it was easy. That's what I participated in. Um,
Did you have did you have any friends in a school called grammar school, the DGS?
um, well,
You can pass that
Not
question.
really. But you had friends at
Nigel is just
SMA.
looking me some
Okay.
trouble and he just wants to tie you in it. But did you have friends at Dominica Grammar School?
yeah, when I was during my time participating in cadets, because cadets they have sectors in
Oh
so
yes,
many
I think
different schools.
it started
It started
at the
in
Dominica Grammar School
in grammar school.
years ago.
So yeah, I knew some people from grammar school, and I know some grammar school alumni that I am friends with to this day. I speak to
Wonderful people,
frequently
right?
enough. Great people,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, okay.
What
Okay,
Nigel
Nigel.
tried to
But of
Yes.
to do? Yeah.
You see, she's sensing you and Nigel.
I mean, you were closer to the
Yes.
SMA people, right? Because I mean, there was always a connection between SMA and convent.
Um,
Alvin, I said SMA by the way.
Do you think that connection was exaggerated? That connection between convent and
Convent
school?
and SMA. I mean, yes and no, in the sense, SMA, the all boys Catholic school, convent, the all girls Catholic school. So I guess they have that similarity that they're both unisex and Catholic. And then the schools, they're not too far away from each other. Personally, I didn't get involved. I wasn't getting involved in no boy drama and thing as a child. I wasn't involved in that.
You were more interested in your schoolwork.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't minding that. My cousin went to SMA, so I knew some SMA guys and stuff, and I would spend time after school at my aunt's house with my cousin and such. But I wasn't really involved in the boy drama. I was a I thought I was a very quiet child. I like to think I was a good quiet
Wow.
child, just minding my business. I didn't get involved in people business and that kind of thing.
I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
What kind of music do you grew up on at the time? During that time in convents, what are some of the popular bands or the music being played then?
Here's another thing again. So music now, I grew up listening to music that my parents listened to. So Lionel Richie, easy sun feeling like Sunday morning.
Hey.
Mm,
I do love you still, that kind of thing. So my
mm,
friends, I mean I do listen to mainstream music, obviously because it's trending and I'm a young person, so of course I listen to it. But my preference is like old music. I like Bee Gees. That's what I play when I
Wow.
at home. Things like Bee
nice.
Gees.
Wow, Nigel, I love
Um,
this. I love this young lady.
yeah, those are the types. Teddy, I can't.
Teddy
Teddy
Pendergrass?
the Yes.
Oh,
Teddy
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Penny.
Turn off the lights.
Yes.
Little soft romantic
yeah, that's
songs.
my
That's
kind
what
of
I
music also.
predominantly listen to when I'm at home. Um, yeah, I
So
mean,
it's interesting that you mentioned that, Nigel, because at time I used to think that my first daughter was kind of weird because that's the music that she likes to listen to. And I was thinking to myself, but you have a young daughter, why is she listening to this oldies? And I guess she took from me. But I'm
yeah,
really
Yes, yes,
impressed with
yes,
you,
yes.
Miss Pemberton. You know that you
She
love
remember. She
music of
remember when
Laganu.
you hosted the oldest show
Yes,
on the yes.
yes,
So
yes.
yes. So she took that from you. Yes. So from convent prep, did you go to the college, state college?
yes, I did go to state college. I did civil engineering at the state college. State college is probably my favorite school experience. I don't know. I enjoyed state college.
You stayed
I
there for 2 years?
the full 2 years. That was around the time that I started getting a bit more out of my shell and making friends. So I try to liaise. Like I would see somebody sitting down and I would just walk up to them and just start to talk to them.
Wow.
It was more so just a chance to push myself. So I would just force
Where
myself.
where where do you think that came from around that time?
I was just tired of being quiet. So I heard this quote that closed mouths don't get fed, and if you want people to respect you and to acknowledge you, you have to prove that you are worthy of their respect and their acknowledgement. And I was just tired of being quiet, and I sit down there, I have something to say, and
And you had
nobody
a
not
lot to say, I would
listening.
imagine, because all that time
Yeah,
you have so much bottled up.
yeah. So I just decided, you know what? Let me take a challenge. If I see somebody sitting alone, doesn't if the person looking down or whatever, just walk up to them and just start to talk to them. Just say hello, make a joke, something. So that was around the time that I started to get very open and out of my shell. Um, and after Maria, when school reopened after Maria, that time specifically, I should say that time specifically, I started to yeah get into more socializing and that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Would you say too that I guess at the state college you had students from all over different parts of the country, different schools. Um, was that like a challenge for you, or was it better in the sense that it allowed you to be able to interact with different people
Yeah,
throughout the country?
yeah. It was. I think it was better because I was able to meet a new demographic of students. I mean, high school, as amazing as it is, I mean, we high schools have a limit as to how many students they can have. If it's 500 students in the school, and then you only have the same 90 students, 30 students in every class, the same 30 students in every class. Being in DSC and university right now, every semester you meet in new people and you just get a better chance to socialize and to meet people with different interests and different people who spark up interest in new avenues for you. So I think it's a lot better. It was a lot better for me, at least.
And you said
But
you did civil engineering. What
Yeah.
what what about civil engineering you kind of decided this is what I want to get into?
So actually, what I wanted to do initially was architecture, but my uncle studied civil engineering at the state college, and then he went on to do architecture. So the advice was that it would be beneficial to have a small background in one and then you focus in the other. So that's what I was going to do. But then when I got involved in civil, I just like that it was challenging. My head is a hard. I can have a hard head at times. So having that challenge, because it is challenging, and architecture itself is challenging as well. But the technicality of the civil engineering, I enjoyed the challenge of it. So I just decided to continue pursuing it. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Anything you can remember when you were a little girl that would have led you to that journey in architecture? I know you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, you used to enjoy arts and craft. But
Yeah,
anything you can
that-
remember in particular?
Okay, so I remember once in primary school that we had Miss Barry was the art teacher, and we had this project that we had to do to make a Cicero parrot. Well, was it a Cicero parrot? We had to make something for art class, and my mother sat with me and she helped me make this like 3D portrait of a Cicero parrot with feathers, with fake feathers, and we stuck it on. And that was the point that I really started seeing myself just taking an interest in arts and craft. And then when we moved to Canefield East at some point in, I guess, early high school, so I would maybe say like first form thereabout, I just decided I wanted to change up the house. I didn't particularly like the house too as much as I probably should have. I mean, it's my home, I like it, but I wanted to just play with it and change it up. So I would go online and look for any free website I could find to change up the layout, change up the stuff, and that is when I started to take it seriously. And my mother was like, you should look into architecture. It seems like it would suit you. At the time, I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up, and then I was like, yeah, that is exactly what I like. And I guess I deviated from that a bit because I ended up sticking with civil. But yeah. And even though I ended up sticking with civil, I plan to pursue education in urban design, and because I seem to find a passion in there where there's a mix of the technicality and the not aesthetic, the creativity. So I think it has more of a mix of both the technicality of civil and the creativity of architecture, and so I want to pursue that.
Nigel, she has her head well placed on her shoulders. I like that.
Yes, she does. And and you and I both like when when the young people, young down
Oh, yes.
can have that focus and that goal. So from the State College, Terry, you then went on to pursue further studies and out of Dominican what? You continued with your civil engineering?
Continued civil engineering, yeah.
And by that time, you were not shy again.
But no,
No.
I was a lot
By the way,
more
did you go to
exposed.
your high school prom?
No, I didn't go
Okay.
to prom there.
I just wanted to bring that in.
I did go to prom.
Because I'm looking at her lovely young lady, her height, she just, lovely.
Thank you.
And her updo and all of that, I can just see her in a prom dress, Nigel. So anyway.
I know.
So I had to just
but
bring
I
in
guess
that question here.
she was still quiet
Actually,
then.
at the time, in high school, I didn't go to prom. Like I said, I wasn't really that outgoing. I wasn't into boys and them kind of thing. But I didn't go to prom. Actually, my entire friend group, save for 2 people, didn't go to prom.
Oh,
So
yeah?
they spent
That's
the
a plan
night.
then.
I guess it ended up being a plan because they ended up spending the night at my house. And that whole weekend, we just had our own prom, I guess. We went out, so we went party, we went whatever. I think that year, there was also, oh no, never mind, that was in college. So that's what we did. And during those times there, I wasn't necessarily fixated on my appearance, so you wouldn't see me with updo and dress, and I wasn't checking that at all. It was until the time I started to put myself out there that I started to focus on my appearance, because if you look good, you feel good. You look good, you feel good. You smell good, you feel good. You clean, you feel good. So yeah, that's when I
I
started.
like her
paying
vibes,
attention to
Nigel. Look, I forget the question you asked earlier. Nigel, I'm sure you remember your question. So go ahead.
So you continued with your civil engineering, and what was it? Was it still challenging for you doing civil engineering when you left Dominica?
Yeah, I mean the major itself is difficult. It has its difficulties. There's a lot of physics. There's a bit of chemistry in there. It's a lot of math, so it's extremely challenging. Like I say, I may not be the best at it, but I enjoy the challenge. I like seeing a challenge, saying like, boy, I probably cannot do that, you know. I just say, nah, I go in and do that. I have to do it. Either way, I have to do it, and I have to succeed at it. So I enjoy that challenge. In Jamaica, it was, I enjoyed it up there. I had a lot of help from my classmates. I guess they were intrigued to see a Dominican. I think at the time I'm the only foreign student in my year. So they were like intrigued. Everybody, oh, a foreign girl, a brownie. Everybody wants to help the brownie. Everybody wants to. So I had a lot of help from my classmates. So yeah, it's a challenge up even there still. I'm currently looking to transfer and see how I can complete the program online, because I'd like to stay home in Dominica and see what impact I can have.
In Jamaica?
So far 2 years I've completed with them. Yeah, so the first year was completely online. Second year was face to face. So I went up there for face to face, and then towards the ending of it, they continued. I mean, it was still online. The second year was still online, but there was a portion of time where my classes were face to face. Some of my class, like a chemistry lab.
Sort of.
Yeah, so I had to leave up there for that short period. Yeah.
What was the experience like in Jamaica, though?
Oh, I loved it. It was my first time really out of Dominica, so I loved just getting the experience, seeing somewhere new. But the fast life. I remember when I went, I seen, like, we have our roads. Our roads is just 2 lanes. You know, when you're crossing the road, all you have to look is look up, look down. You have to look up, look down, look up, look down 2 times, because it's a 4-lane road. And then while you're trying to do that, somebody trying to sell something for you. Browning, come buy this, man. And the taxi calling you. I just want to cross the road.
Yeah. Did you have the bus experience as well? Smile up yourself.
Yes, I had that experience. I wasn't used to it. So it's a very fast life out there. I usually prefer a more rural. I'm not too into the fast life. I prefer the more rural lifestyle. But I still enjoyed it because it was an experience. So I get to say that, yeah, I had that experience. It has its negativities in that it's very overwhelming, but the positives of it is that, it's a new experience, and it can be fun. It's something I can look back on and laugh at. Like, I was acting so stupid. You have to cross the road. Just cross the road. You see everybody crossing the road. Just cross the road.
I like that girl, Nigel.
Yes. Like the vibes. Yes, Jamaica, second home. So you came back to Dominica, and then since you've been back, there's been some interesting things going on, which I know Ivona would love to get into as well. So where did your interest for urban design and aesthetics, where did that come from?
What piqued your interest?
Yeah, so what piqued my interest was basically seeing that there was a place for improvement in the country. Like I say, we have a lot of positive intentions on developing the country, and as we should, because we should be trying to develop the country. But there are times where I feel like the execution may not necessarily be as good as it could be. So I started to get an interest in that. And basically what I did was, and thank God for my parents, I came up to them at one point and I said, hey, I would like to take this time off from school. I see this program, this certificate program with this university in the Netherlands on urban design, and I would like to pursue it because I think it would be very good. in the back of my mind, I had the idea that I would complete it and then use the knowledge that I learned to better assess and understand how we can go about making a couple changes in the country. So they were like, okay, you sure you really want to do it? If you really want to take some time, think about it, make sure it's something that you really, really want to do, and make sure it's something that that will benefit you. And if that's what you want to do, then we support you. So I decided to do that.
So in the Netherlands, you did the certificate in urban design. Again, a different experience for you, right?
Actually, I didn't go over there. I did it.
Did it
online?
online?
Yeah, I did online. So it was Zoom classes and online. Yeah.
All right. So Nigel, let us get to the. I'm looking at the term. You know how quickly it flies.
Yes.
I want her to walk us through this concern that you have about the direction that Dominica is going as it relates to design and aesthetics.
Yeah. So basically, I think that now there's a lot that goes into planning out an urban space, and there's a lot of data collection and analysis that needs to be done. For the post that I made, I didn't necessarily take all of that into consideration because it wasn't meant to take all of that into consideration. It was just to highlight that there is a process that has to be undertaken. But in cases where, because I do understand that our government and our PAL reps and all of that, I do understand that there are times where they have budget limitations, and there are times that they may have limitations based off of space and location and where they can do things. And so I regardless of whatever our political opinions may be, we can understand and take into consideration that everybody has reasons as to why they do things. So I decided to basically just highlight that regardless of limitations, there are certain things that you can take into consideration to get as best of a final product as you possibly can. I know some people took my post and they misunderstood what I was saying based off of aesthetic, thinking that aesthetic is everything. I wasn't necessarily saying that aesthetic is the only important thing. Functionality is extremely important, and it's the most important thing. Your space needs to work and it needs to be functional, but it's not necessarily at the expense of aesthetic, because the space, a public space, it has to look nice. I mean, you want to go to a nice space, a comfortable space for you to be with your family, your friends, your significant other, that kind of thing. So an easy way to put it, because I like to use examples, imagine you building a house and then you have a long cantilever slab. So cantilever would be like there's no column under it. If it's too long, then it's going to collapse eventually, right? So right now, that's house, it's not functional because eventually it's going to collapse. So you have to put the columns. So you put the columns and you make it functional. But now the columns may be ugly. So what you do instead, you add cladding to it or some form to it to make it look nice. So that was basically the point that I was trying to drive with aesthetic, is that it shouldn't be at the expense of functionality, and functionality shouldn't be at the expense of aesthetic. They all work hand in hand. Everything.
So it's like a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Usability of a certain space, but at the same time enhancing functionality.
Right.
Creating designs that are sort of aesthetically pleasing and functional.
That's exactly it.
Okay. Naturally, not bad, man.
But you're not bad at all. I mean, you sound like you could get
You're
there
ready
too.
to do that. You're ready to take that one.
Interesting.
But I mean, so you identified from one of the posts that I saw, you identified the Bayfront as one of the places where you think we could have or we can still utilize the space better in relation to aesthetics as well as making it functional. Just for those who might, not have seen it, just a general idea on what is it you were trying to say.
So basically, what I was trying to say, and this is a point I didn't necessarily touch on as much as I should have. So I'll take responsibility for that. If taking into consideration the rules of urban design, there should be absolutely no booths on the Bayfront at all, because there are a number of things that you have to take into consideration. You have to take into consideration how the bayfront is prone to flooding during bad weather, the sea jumping over the wall, and you also have to take into consideration how the bayfront looks to the tourists from the cruise ship. All of these things I should have pointed out, but I didn't spend as much time on it as I should have. But again, take into consideration that whoever made the decision on putting the booths on bayfront, it could have just been that they wanted a temporary spot and there was a limitation with budget, a limitation on location. So even if that there was that limitation, take into consideration that you adamant that this is where you need to put the booths for the time being at the very least. This is the process that you can take, and these are some things that you can take into consideration to end up with a really good space. Even if it's temporary, it's a nice space and you can remove and change up things as necessary in the future.
Interesting.
Would you say that let's supposing you were given the opportunity to design it, right? Would you include like some open restaurant thing or some cafes or what are some of the things you would probably want to do there?
Yeah, it would be really nice to have some form of eating around the area. It would be something that would be beneficial, I think, for locals and the tourists. But it's not necessarily something that I would just say, yeah, we should have that. That would require a little bit of studying just to ensure that, okay, this would be really, really beneficial here and we should actually put it here. I would not say definitively that we should, but it does sound like something nice and something that would be good to look into.
And in cases like that, do we like use works of art? We are known for having, a lot of greenery and things like that. Should we incorporate all of this into certain spaces?
Greenery should be incorporated everywhere as often as possible, I believe, because like you say, we're known for our greenery, so why not incorporate it everywhere? And especially in spaces where you put in a lot of concrete can feel a little cold and unwelcoming. So adding some greenery really makes a space feel welcoming. It makes it feel comfortable. So we should incorporate as much greenery as we can everywhere as much as possible. Something that I did in my presentation that I put online, I removed the fountain and the planters that were there. I do want to clarify that though I removed them, personally, I do like the fountain. I like the fountain. I know many people do like the fountain as well. The only reason I removed it was just for that presentation per se. Because like I said, I didn't go through the entire steps and I didn't want to take on the project in its entirety and do the entire, because that would take me a lot more time. And I didn't want to lose too much sleep on it just to bring across the point I was trying to bring across. So I think there's a way that to keep the fountain and incorporate what is already there and make the space a lot more comfortable.
Interesting, Nigel. Wow. But
Very. I mean, I love the fact that this young lady is trying to, in some way, use the knowledge that she has to further enhance what we have, make it even look even better and more functional as well. As someone interested in architecture, urban design, civil engineering, combining all those, do you think that's like landscaping should be part of when you're putting up buildings as well?
Yeah, I think, like I said, landscaping can really elevate a space. It can elevate your building. You have your home, a bit of yard work. We have even at my own home, we have a habit here of just pouring concrete on the entire space. And I do understand that the reasoning for it, a lot of people, is for parking, and because landscaping, when you have grass, you have to cut the grass and you have to maintain it. But I think a little bit of maintenance every now and then, I don't think that should be at the expense of you missing an opportunity to really elevate the front of your space, because it is extremely inviting. I mean, I would say, for example, if you were to walk down a street and you see a building with a really nice yard, like, you know, nice trees and the grass well cut and a nice driveway, you're going to want to go in it over the one that
Yeah.
just have concrete pour
Mm-hmm.
in front of it, right? So why not take that into consideration and do that ourselves? Like I said in my thing, this wasn't just some of the points that I made. It wasn't necessarily just at the governments and our pal reps and stuff. It was even for us. There are some things that we as individuals can take into consideration
Okay.
ourselves.
Interesting. But have you ever engaged any departments or organization in that type of conversation? I am thinking here, Nigel, about this organization which seeks to protect the integrity of Dominica's culture through respect for its architectural
Yeah,
heritage.
that's
That's SHAPE,
shape.
right? The
Shape, yeah.
Society for, is it Historic Architectural
Society for
Preservation and
Historical
Enhancements?
Architectural
So yeah,
Preservation
and
and
enhancements.
Environment or something like
Yeah,
that. Or
something like that.
enhancement, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to any particular entity or as yet. I do plan on it, because I think that we all should have a voice and we all should participate in the conversation. I do think again that our history should be preserved as much as possible. We have, you know, our cobble buildings and stuff. I think these have a lot of history in the French Quarter. They should be preserved as much as possible because it tells a story and they have their own beauty. But for new construction and new spaces, I think there are ways that we can incorporate the modern world into it because life is progressing and we're moving. So in certain areas, we need to move with the times. It's just there needs to be a happy medium, a happy mixing pot of everything together. And when it comes to speaking to different entities, SHAPE, you said, this is the first time I'm hearing of them. I would like to get in touch. I would like to have a conversation. I'm always open to having a conversation.
You should.
Yeah, and getting feedback from people. I enjoy feedback, whether it be negative, positive. I enjoy it. It helps me grow. It helps me become a better person. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And of course, for those who, once this is over, you can go to Kateri's Facebook page and you'll see a wonderful post that she did in relation to the Bayfront and, some of the things that she's suggesting can be done there. Have you looked at any other areas, any other spaces in Dominica where you feel like we could probably do something different?
Yeah, I've identified a handful of spaces that I think we can take a different approach, or not even necessarily take a different approach, enhance on what is already there. I don't think I will necessarily get into it as much because I don't really like to speak on things before I actually have it complete to a point where I see that it's feasible and successful. But yeah, I've seen a handful of areas where I think we can really improve on. One space that I guess I can touch on slightly is the gardens. I think our gardens has a lot of potential, and I know that the gardens had its own battles with, we had Tropical Storm Erica and then we had Maria, which affected it. And so I think if there's a proper plan and a proper design and a proper approach, I think our gardens can become extremely beautiful. Because I visited the one in Jamaica and I was so amazed by how nice it is and how well thought out and laid out it is. And I think we can make our own like that. I understand that it would probably take some time because that would require a big budget, a big investment. But yeah.
But what are some of the suggestions, though, as far as the gardens is concerned?
Some of this, I think there needs to be some form of interactive space in it. All public spaces should have something that people visiting can interact with. I think there needs to be spaces where people can just come to take a picture. You know, you just come to take a picture. You know,
Apart from like taking a picture like by a tree or beautiful flower,
yeah,
you have to create something unique.
Yeah, something that's like, oh wow, look at that. I mean, okay, so for example, I would say the bathroom in Fort Young. So you go to Fort Young, the restaurant, the bathroom there. So you see they have the like slats on the wall with lighting in between the slats. People stop and take pictures there all the time. I see so many people with that picture, with that background in their picture as their profile picture. They have it on their Instagram, on their Facebook. So it's like, look at it like that. They could have just put a wall lamp on the wall, just a regular lamp on the wall. Nobody would stop to take a picture there. But they saw an opportunity to incorporate the lighting into the wall, and you create a space that is so beautiful that people actually want to stop to take a picture in front of it. And I think we can have
Create
spaces
something
like that.
really unique at the gardens.
In the gardens, yeah.
Nigel, I love that idea.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm kind of flowing along with it now, imagining it as she's talking there. So it seems to me, Terry, that for you, aesthetics is important because it allows more to happen for that space, right? It's not just making it pretty, but it has to be pleasant but functional at the same time, like you say.
So as long as the space is functional, it you first can focus on making the space functional. After it's functional, then you make it pleasing to the eye, and what happens is you attract people because people like pretty things, they like nice things. I've seen people go Fort Young just to take a picture in the bathroom because of how nice it is. And when you attract people and you have something nice, people actually want to preserve nice things. Everybody treats something that looks nice and looks pretty. They treat it well because it looks good and they want to keep it. So that's why I think aesthetic works hand in hand with functionality.
I like this. It's like something being fashionable yet functional at the same time. I really love this idea. I can just imagine, Nigel, a job, of someone like Miss Pemberton, maybe driving or walking or just enjoying some time with a friend, and she'd see a building or she'd see a space and she'd say, no mind, nah, that needs to go. What a job that is, eh? And then you go further down and you say, oh no, oh my goodness. And then you go somewhere else and you say, nah, that I could put this there. That's a job.
Yeah. I think
that happens a lot, right?
Yeah, there are times I walk around and I see it's not necessarily that it needs to go, but it can be improved on. Because I do like to appreciate initiative and I do like to appreciate intent. But intent doesn't always equal impact. You can have a very good intention, but the costs of action you take doesn't have the best ending. So yeah, there are times where I walk around and I see and I'm like, that could be better if it was like that. And I guess because I know a couple architects, and listen, nothing is ever right for them. Nothing is ever perfect for them. So because I speak to them and I'm always hearing it in my head, so I become a bit more and more aware of these things every time. So again, that's why I like to have conversations, and I'm always open to feedback, because the more you hear about it, the more aware you become of it. So yeah.
Wow. Do you think our society, our community, our people, do you think that they are do you think that they are tuned into things like the aesthetics and having beautiful spaces and so on, or they just build on whatever it is?
I think that people do know that they like nice, beautiful spaces, but I think it's a matter of us being, I don't want to say stuck in our ways, but you see a lot of people around you building their house, let's say, one certain type of way. So you think, okay, so this is what I want to do, because we all want to fit in and we all want to make sure that we looking good, and we everybody around us is not necessarily just like us, but we fit in well
Mm-hmm.
enough to be comfortable with the people around us. I think also there's a sense of comfort in sticking to the norm. So it's not very many people that necessarily care too much to go to the extent of thinking outside of the box with, let's say, their house, making it completely different. And I think there's also a point that I would like to say. There are a number of people, I would not say they are uneducated on the topic, but probably undereducated on the topic, because maybe all that they know and all that they have seen is, the way we build in Dominica and the way houses generally tend to look in Dominica. So they think that, okay, that is probably what it should be. So, maybe opening their eyes and showing them like, hey, we can also do this, and we can also sorry, we can also do that. I think that would make people a bit more aware of saying like, oh, actually, yeah. And there are people out there that do have that desire to go out of the box and make something different and new and modern and fresh. So yeah.
Very interesting discussion here with Miss Pemberton as she talks about her journey in education and what she plans to do. So you say you have years at Jamaica, 2 years already at Jamaica,
Yes.
in university in Jamaica. You have to continue
Yes.
for how many more years?
I transferred some of my credits from the state college. Luckily, I was able to transfer. That was good. So I should have about a year remaining, and then that would be it for me. And I can focus predominantly on urban design. Yeah, that's the goal.
Predominantly on urban design. What are the plans going forward though, in terms of where you see yourself after you complete your studies? Would you consider working here or going abroad?
Actually, I want to just try my best to have an impact on the country as much as possible. Dominica is always going to be my home. I'm always going to love my home. I'm always going to want to come back. For hard times, for good times, I'm always going to want to be back. So I do want to try my best to have an impact as much as possible. Right as of right now, I think that is where my mindset is at, being here so that I can work on here. As for what the future holds, I cannot say, but we'll see how much I can get done here, and that, I guess, would determine what I do going further.
It's Nigel.
When someone is thinking about like designing something, what is the process you think they should go through? Should they look more in terms of, okay, I have X amount of money, so that's all I can do? Or should it be that, show me what can happen with the space, and then I'll see how I can figure it out?
Yeah, I think if you have a budget and you know what you want something in the end that's really good, I would say hire a professional. You're ready to build your house. We have architects. We have a lot of young architects, budding architects on the island. Hire the professionals. They can give you an insight on what your possibilities are. They can take different routes with creativity. So, yeah, I think we should hire.
What advice would you give to a young person maybe listening to you now and not sure what he or she wants to do, but they love the vibes, they love what they are hearing, and they want to try it as well? What is your advice?
I would say, as soon as you see an interest, you have an interest in something, pursue it. Get into it as much as you can, and if you see that it's something that you're passionate about, go full force ahead. If you aren't that interested in it as you thought you were in the beginning, continue finding interests and pursuing them and developing yourself in it. That way you can find your purpose, and once you're in your purpose, I think it's just onward from there.
Nigel, advice on point.
Nice vibes, nice vibes, nice vibes. Do you think young people have a voice in what's happening in terms of whether it's urban design or any other parts of development? Do you think that young people have that voice? Are you connected with the National Youth Council in any way? If your ideas.
Um, as young people, I think that we have a voice, but it needs to be louder so that it can be heard even more and on a larger base. I think we all need to be a little bit louder and speak up more. If we see something, come together and we can discuss it. And discussing doesn't necessarily mean to critique. I know some people, their only goal is to just come and critique and in a rude, disrespectful way. And I think just come respectfully with your critiques. As young people especially, you see an issue, be respectful with it, speak up as loudly as you can. We should support each other, young and old people, and those in between. We should all come together and speak up. No, I'm not involved with any youth programs at the moment, but like I said earlier, I do intend on trying to get myself involved and speaking with different organizations and entities and people as much as possible so that we can see some progress in certain areas in our country.
So we can look out for you. You are going to do much more writing, expressing your concerns.
Yeah, I do want to.
Giving solutions at times.
Yeah, I do want to continue speaking up and writing and speaking as much as possible. Something that I learned from this one experience was I should expound on certain points a little bit more because like I said, like some people seem to have misunderstood that I was saying aesthetic is more important than functionality when that's not necessarily what I was saying, but I should have expounded on that more. I should have expressed that more. Something else that I learned is that I know that it was a very long presentation, but it was long because I didn't want to misspeak or not express myself enough that people would be able to misconstrue my words and misunderstand my words. And it seems that I'm going to have to make it even longer with expressing myself because, yeah.
Were there shortcuts then that you want to maybe expand on?
There were a few other points that I would have liked to touch on. Like I said, there's a lot more to planning out an urban space that I didn't touch on when it comes to collecting data and things that you should look out for that I cut out because they were not necessarily part of the point that I was trying to show. But so yeah, things like that. I would like to touch on these types of things because I think if we have the information as individuals, other professionals in the field, myself, and just the average layman, if we have the information, then we can apply it to our own selves and we can have a higher expectation of what to see the country as.
But what are the reviews that you are getting generally? Although you mentioned some people feel that you should have, maybe said more, expanded more. They probably did not understand where you're going. In terms of the reviews, though, what are you?
Generally, it's positive. People seem to like what I am saying and seem to agree largely. Some people gave their own advice and their own critiques, which I appreciate, and they did so very respectfully. So I also appreciate the respectful criticism. They are seeing some of what people have to say and what it is that they would like to see and such. It gives me some information on things that I can also take into consideration if I would, let's say, have to redesign Bayfront again. So yeah, the reception is generally positive. I don't think I've had too many negatives. I wouldn't necessarily call somebody misunderstanding me a negative, but say it's just a misunderstanding and a bit of clarity will clear that up. Yeah.
Is there an organization here though, an association maybe of architects, civil engineers?
There's an association of architects. There's one. I like I say, pardon me. I know a couple architects here, and so I think they are part of the association, and I would be very open to getting their own feedback as well, because while I may be able to give pointers on the space in general, let's say the structures that take up that space, they would have the more expertise and more understanding as to how to design and develop those structures within the space. So yeah.
Yes, Nigel, we have to look out for her, yeah?
We have to, and I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
You.
If you were given the opportunity to do your presentation that you did, your post that you did, if you got a call after this program from someone in the government or someone that has authority over the Bayfront and say, hey, Kateri, I listened to you, come do this presentation. Are you open to that?
Yeah, I'll be open to it. I'll be open to discussing the proper steps as to how to undergo the project and redoing it, taking into consideration the exact steps and necessities of the project and then redoing it properly. So yeah, I'll be open to that.
Nice. I love that. So as a young person, as we kind of head towards the end of the program, as a young person, first I want to say it's great that you are speaking out. It's wonderful that you're making your views be known, and you're not just criticizing, but you're offering some kind of solution. You know what I mean? This is an important part of it, and that you are willing to lend your expertise, as limited as it is. You're willing to lend it to those who want to listen, and those that you want to make sure that the space becomes something that's, beautiful, functional, and something that can be there for a long time to come. So good job on that,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, definitely so. And I certainly hope, that somebody from the association, whether it's the architects, whether it's SHAPE, whether it's the youth council, whoever it is, that they get in touch with you. But don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep sharing your views, keep sharing your ideas, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you. I plan to, man.
You plan to? Yeah, you should.
Yes, she's moved from the shy girl in convent prep to the outspoken.
Look at me now.
Yeah, it's been that journey.
Yeah.
But very quickly, as we take though, I mean, was it that you were just driving by the Bayfront area and you say, wow, no, this could be better? Or was it like something you saw that just triggered that? What is it? What triggered you to do this?
Oh, well, actually, it was when the stalls were actually just being placed on the Bayfront. I saw some of them on pallets, and I saw the construction of them wasn't necessarily as best as it could have been, and that was what triggered it, because at that point, at that stage, I could foresee that it would not necessarily end up being as pleasant as it should be in the future. So that was what it was.
Nice.
That raised some concerns for you.
Yeah.
You had to put it on
yes.
paper.
And again, for those who are asking on our own Facebook page, you can go to her Facebook page and you will see the post that she had and the suggestions and the presentation that she did on how we can better improve it. So you can go there. We can't put the link. The person said, can you put the link? No. Go to her Facebook page. You will be able to find it. But there's been lots of questions, Terry, on the Facebook page. You can always go back and listen, view the comments, and see some of the questions people are asking you, some of the suggestions that they have, some of the advice that they have as well. So it's always good to go back and view those as well. Right?
Definitely. I'll go and check it out as soon as I'm done. See what people have to say, see their suggestions, maybe clarify myself in certain areas where I need to clarify. Yeah.
So you still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it, right? You enjoy what you do.
Yeah, it's a nice process. It's tedious, but it's an enjoyable process. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes the laptop it's starting to get a little hot. Boy, I hope my laptop do damage under that, boy. But it's fun. I enjoyed doing this. Yeah.
Nigel, I'm just wondering if someone like her can like put her job, her role, behind the force at at times. So I can just imagine she going to say a wedding reception, and then she's seeing everything like everything just jumble up, and she's saying that's a job. So she's not
I
relaxing.
know.
She's not
And
relaxing.
you're saying that there, but like even if you talk to an architect, that's what they do. You know.
So she's probably inside DBS radio right now in the studio, daily studio, and saying, "Nah, that should not be there. That should not
Actually,
be
I
there."
act like this.
Oh, okay. All right. So a job is you're working every day, every day.
Yeah. Like even just like the architects that I speak to, they will go somewhere and just a light on the wall, and they will watch it and start saying about the light and all. I'm like, relax, it's a light.
I tell you have to relax, right, Nigel? Me?
I know. Just enjoy the moment.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So Nigel, yes, the time has come. The time has gone.
Yes,
I really enjoyed this.
But thank you so much, Kateri. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much
having me.
for being here, for sharing, for accepting the invite, for drinking the bush tea so your voice got better. Thank you so much for being the guest. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Continue doing what you're doing, and connect with us on Saturdays. All right, this is what we do on a Saturday morning, 9:30 to 11. So become our newest fan and connect.
Yeah. Thank you again for having me. Thank you for allowing me a chance to speak and voice my opinions, my thoughts, clarify myself in some regards. So thank you. This was really nice.
Thank you so much. So Nigel, we'll see what happens next week. We'll try something next week.
We'll try something. We'll try
I will not be in the
somehow.
studio next week, God willing. I will not be in the studio,
Yes,
but let's
we
see.
will connect in the air. We will connect land, sea,
Let's see
air,
how we can
wherever
make
you are.
make
We'll
it
connect.
happen. Let me just also remind people of the Nightbox theatrical production at the Goodwill Primary School. That's next weekend, on the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. So Gloria Augustus is asking me to big them up and remind people of this. So go to the Goodwill Primary School for this.
Yes,
big
please go.
production.
Go support theater. Go support theater. Go to the Goodwill Primary School next weekend. Get your tickets. Be part of the activity. Bring a friend. Bring the family. Go and support theater.
Yep. All right. So that's where we come to the end. Let me thank you for joining us. We had some hitches, but we got the message across. I'm very happy that
We got it done.
Yeah, we got it done. I am very happy that
We
you
got
were
it
able to be a
done.
guest.
Yes, thanks, Kateri Pemberton. We didn't get into all the Pembertons and your relationship because somebody wondered if you relate to Pembo and all kind of story. We didn't get into all that, but all the Pembertons, I'm sure, are proud of you.
But you said your mother's from Tetmon and your father's from Sufria.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember that.
Okay.
Thanks, my dear. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, and you take care. Nigel, let's see what happens next week. As I said, hopefully, we'll link up again. All right, Nigel?
Take care.
All right, then.